Hello everyone, welcome to Kids Yoga. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ashley. My nickname is the Yogi Next Door, and I'm very happy to welcome you all here because I love doing yoga and I love sharing it with everyone in my life. But to tell you a secret, I always have the most fun in my kids' classes. That's so true. So I'm very excited to make this video today, which is a request from one of the students I've been working with through my friend's school. So I've been so lucky to have this opportunity, and I'm very excited to practice yoga with you all today. So without further ado, let's get started. Of course, it's helpful to have a yoga mat to practice yoga, but you don't need a yoga mat. You can simply have a nice spot on the carpet, or maybe just put down a big towel or blanket, and let's get started. Let's come to our mats. We're going to start in our easy pose. So this is simply just sitting cross-legged, crisscross applesauce. Get nice and comfy. If you don't feel comfortable sitting like this, you can always bring your legs out in front of you if you like that better. Take a few moments getting comfortable, maybe wiggling a little bit, get out all your extra wiggles, extra energy. And we're going to start with the most important part of yoga, and that's breathing. So first, let's bring both of our hands onto our bellies, starting with an exercise called balloon breathing. When we breathe in, feel our belly growing up, expanding, getting bigger like a big balloon. And when we breathe out, letting out all of the air, our belly shrinks down into our spine. Breathing in, our belly grows. Breathing out, our belly shrinks. Continue with your own breath here. Breathing in and breathing out. Really good, guys. All right, let that go. Get a little wiggle. And let's bring our legs out all the way in front of us. We're going to move up each part of our body. We're going to warm up each part of our body as we move. So starting at the very bottom with our toes. Let's wiggle our toes. Give them a really big wiggle, sending energy all the way down to our feet here. And now our ankles. Let's roll our ankles around in one circle. And then the other way, of course. Have to go both directions. Now let's move up to our knees. Let's bop our knees, bopping one and then the other. Starting to warm up all of our leg muscles, really getting moving here. Now, let's move up all the way to our hips. Let's do circles, circling forward, all the way around and back. You can bring your hands here to help go a little bit farther, a little bit deeper. Go all the way around and then stop. And go the other direction, all the way back and then forward, getting a big circle, warming up our back, warming up our hips. All right, that's good. And now freeze right back in the middle and bring your attention to your fingers. And we're going to wiggle our fingers just like we wiggled our toes. Wiggling, wiggling, getting a really warm up. And then our wrists, circling our wrists around in a big circle. And then the other way, of course, all the way around. And now our elbows, we're going to bop our elbows just like we did our knees. Maybe do one and then the other. And maybe go out to the sides. Like this could be like a cool dance move, right? No, I'm old. I don't know the cool dance moves. You guys know the cool dance moves. All right, now we're going to let our arms rest on our legs, and we're going to warm up these really important shoulders. So inhale. Oop, I think I just hit the microphone. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. Inhale, shoulders up to our ears, and then exhale, bring them down our back all the way around. Breathe in as you go up. And breathe out as you go down. Go really slow, moving your shoulders as much as possible here. Really getting a big stretch. And then freeze and go the other direction, coming forward, back, and then up. Really moving as much as we can. And then let it go, shake it out, give a little wiggle. Now we're going to warm up our neck. So this one can be a little tricky, but it's very simple. Simply look over our shoulder. And then look over the other shoulder. Moving very gentle, very slow at first. Asking our neck very politely to please warm up, sir or ma'am. Yeah, nice stretch. Now, bringing our head back to center, going to warm up our neck by slowly lowering our ear down toward the shoulder. And then all the way down, looking down at our lap, and then bring our other ear over to our other shoulder. Slowly rolling down through the center, up and over to each side. Don't forget to breathe, most important. And maybe bring your head back to center. Give another full body wiggle, really moving all of your parts. And then, now that our whole body has been moving, our whole body is warmed up, we are ready to rock and roll. Woo! Rock and roll yoga. All right, so scoot forward a little bit towards your feet. Your feet are on the floor here. Bring your arms out front, hands right underneath our knees, and we're gonna simply drop down to our backs, rolling all the way back and then all the way forward. At first, going slowly, warming up through our spine, and then maybe we start to roll a little bit faster. Maybe we get a little bit more energy in our roll. And maybe you start to feel like you're rolling so fast that you could roll all the way up over your feet. And on your next roll, cross over your feet and roll all the way up to our all fours position. And I'm going to turn this way so I can make sure you guys can see me. So our hands are here underneath our shoulders, knees are underneath our hips. We're just like a little table, right? This is our tabletop position. On your next inhale, when we breathe in, you're going to drop the belly down to the earth as your head and tailbone reach up to the sky. This is our cow pose. Picture that you have a big cow belly reaching down to the ground here. Now as you exhale and breathe out, curling up through your spine, your head and tailbone reach down like we're a scaredy Halloween cat. Continue with your own breathing here. Breathing in, belly is heavy to the floor. Breathe out. And that scaredy Halloween cat. Let's do it one more time. Really good, guys. All right, coming back through our center. Now this next pose is a little bit tricky, but I think you guys can handle it. When you're next breathing in, your next inhale, step your left toes back and reach your right arm forward, coming to our spinal balance. Now this is pretty tricky, but if you want something even more challenging, try to lift that left foot up off the floor, really squeezing through your stomach to help you be nice and strong and steady. And then exhale, lower your foot and hand down to the mat. Inhale, right leg stretches out this time and our left arm. And then try to raise that leg. Really challenge yourself. Testing your balance. If you fall, that's okay. Exhale, lower down. Now let's move a little bit faster. Opposite hands and opposite arms. That was the same thing. Opposite hands, opposite legs. So your right arm reaches forward and then down to the floor. And then your left arm and opposite leg down to the floor. Let's do that again. Now the right side first and down to the floor. Inhaling up and exhale down to the floor. Really good job, guys. And that was maybe a little tricky, a little complicated. So we're going to come all the way down onto our bellies here. Letting our head rest down on the mat. Arms stretch along our sides and rest for just a moment. Maybe let out a little sigh. Now bring your head up to your chin so you can look forward at the floor. Hands come alongside our chest. Palms pressing down into the mat. On your next inhale, feel your head reach up, chest opening up to the sky here, coming to our locust pose. Opening up, really reaching our chest forward, and then a little challenge, lift your hands up off the floor. Really feel your legs strong, helping your body lift up, maybe lift a little higher, and then exhale, gently lower down to the mat. Now let's bring our hands down by our bottom, interlacing our fingers. On your next inhale, breathing in, punch your arms back, opening your chest, really stretching our shoulders here. Inhale, rise a little bit higher. Exhale, release all the way down, arms come down. Let's bring our arms over to the front of the mat, coming to our crocodile pose. And turn this way to make sure you guys can see me. So our arms are forward in front of the mat, one forearm straight, and then stack the other right on top, hand and elbows stacked on top of each other. Let out a little sigh and let your forehead come down to rest on your arms. Let's bring our attention back to our breathing here. When you inhale, when you breathe in, notice your back go bigger and bigger. And exhale, sinking down to the floor. Let's breathe one more time. Release your arms back to your sides. Press yourself all the way up and stack under your feet. Press your hips up to the sky, coming to our most famous yoga pose, downward facing dog. We're going to walk the dog, just like we do every morning, right? Pressing one heel to the floor and then the other, very slow, bending our knees one at a time, getting a nice stretch in our legs, waking up for the day. We're in a big upside down V shape. Don't forget to breathe. Now find a little stillness, bring your feet wide, toes turn in, and then let's wag our tails. Just like a really happy dog, you're looking back at your feet, and all that joy and playfulness that dogs have, that's what we have. All right, let's bring our feet back to center. Inhale, rise really high up onto your toes. Exhale, look forward, and then hop forward, coming forward to land right in front of your hands. Let's bring our feet wide here. Bend your knees really deep here, and then let's sway our arms from one side all the way to the other, dropping our fingers alongside the mat. Don't forget to breathe. And our fingers are really creating this big arch, just like we're drawing a rainbow on the floor. Imagine every single finger has a different color of paint. And each time you sway from one side to the other, you're leaving a beautiful trail of rainbow colors. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely love painting, and that would be really fun to do with real paint. Not on the floor, of course. We don't want mom to be mad. But maybe on some paper. All right, do a couple more swipes, really imagining this beautiful rainbow, and then coming back to the middle. Bring your feet close together. Our big toes are really close together here, almost touching. Inhale, bend your knees, reach all the way up to the sky, just like you're a sunrise, and you're sending your energy all the way up to the sun here. Breathe in and breathe out. Arms sweep all the way back down to the floor like we're coming to sunset. Let's do that again. Breathe in, sunrise. Breathe out, sunset. Breathe in, sunrise. Breathe out, sunset. Breathe in, sunrise, one last time. And then exhale, bring your hands to the center of your chest in a prayer position. Now in yoga, we call this our heart center because it's the center of our beautiful, loving heart energy in our body. Taking a moment here, maybe close your eyes. See how your balance feels in your feet. Maybe rock a little forward and back and a little side to side, finding your balance and find stability and connected to the floor here. Our feet are like our roots reaching down into the earth, and our body grows tall and strong like a big tree. Now, we're not just trees though. We are people, right? So blink open your eyes if you had your eyes closed. We're going to make a big move here, so follow along with me, guys. On your next inhale, bend your knees, springing down and low, and then exhale, open your arms and legs super wide, as big as you can go, coming to our big star position. Maybe look up at the sky and imagine you're seeing all sorts of stars up there in the sky. Now, turn your right toes out to the side, and then exhale, bend low, sinking down into our leg. Our front leg is strong and bent in a 90 degrees in a big square, and our back leg is all the way straight. We're looking out over our front hand. This is our warrior pose. We're strong and steady and confident. Maybe wiggle your fingers, bringing some energy all the way through your arms here. Inhale, rising back to center, turn your right toes in, and then turn your left toes out. And then we're going to exhale, lower down the other direction and look over the other hand. So we're warrior on both sides. Yoga is all about balance, strength, and we're finding it in both sides of our body today. Your next inhale, straighten that leg, rising back, maybe arms reach up, and then bend your knees and hop back to center, rising all the way back up to our sunrise position. Exhale, hands come back down to our heart center. Coming to a very tricky pose, but I feel like you guys can definitely do it. This is called our tree pose. So we were growing our roots before, and now we're going to start to grow some branches. So you have a couple options for tree pose, starting with our right foot on the floor. You can bring your left foot here on the inside of your ankle, or you can bring it up inside your calf. Balancing against our foot, make sure to not put your foot against your other knee. That's the only no-no. Besides that, you guys are groovy, good to go. Find one still spot for your gaze. Let your eyes focus on that spot, something that's not going to move so you can help balance. Feel steady in your foot that's on the floor, like it's your roots reaching down into the earth. On your next inhale, maybe your arms reach up to the sky, growing open your branches. Try to imagine what kind of tree you'd like to be. Maybe you're a palm tree on the beach. Maybe you're a big, strong oak tree like we have here in Chicago. Maybe you're a weeping willow and your arms and your branches sway in the breeze. One more inhale, reaching up. Exhale, hand comes down, foot comes down. Give it a wiggle, give it a shake. Let out your legs and your arms. And then find peace and stillness, this time keeping our left foot down and bringing our right foot up, either against our ankle or up here on our calf. Find that still point for your eyes to focus on. We're strong, steady trees growing from the earth as our foot reaches down. And then inhale, arms reach up, growing our branches. And maybe we sway in the breeze. And if you fall over, that's okay. Give it a little laugh, shake it off, and then come back up to tree. One more big inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, hands come down, leg comes down. Give it a wiggle, give it a shake. Shake one leg and then the other, letting it out. Now, coming back to our mats. Slowly, bringing your heels together, rise up onto your toes here, really testing our balance. You can have your arms out to the sides or maybe into your heart center. Exhale, this is tricky, guys. Lower all the way down to the floor. Really feeling our leg muscles strong here. And then we can bring our hands down to the front. This is our froggy squat. Right? Totally looks like a frog and I feel like a frog. So, of course, we have to do some frog stuff And what are frogs known for besides eating flies? Jumping. Of course, we're gonna do some froggy hops here. So we're here in our frog pose. This is too tricky for your feet, maybe your ankles. You can come up higher, or you can maybe bring your feet out a little bit wider. It's your choice. So we're here in froggy. Maybe start to bounce a little, using your fingers to kind of press off the floor. And then we're gonna really pump up the energy and hop all the way up into the air and maybe get a few bounces and then hop all the way up into the air. Let's do that one more time. Woo! So fun. Got a ribbit. I don't know if that was a very good frog noise, but you guys know what I was trying to do. All right, so now we're gonna let our knees come down to the mat. And we have time for a little bit of a challenge here. So our knees are down, and I'm gonna show you guys first what we're gonna do, and then you can feel free to join me. So you're just on your knees watching for just a moment, coming to our froggy pose. We're gonna come up to our crow pose. This is a very big challenge and can be a really good chance to test your balance. Bringing our hands wide onto the mat, gonna bring our knees up close to our armpits and then come forward, seeing if we can balance up on our hands. Now it's always a good idea to have a little blanket nearby just in case you topple over. And then gently come back to your feet. All right, you guys can join me this time. I'm gonna come forward to get a different view. So coming back to our froggy pose, our hands come wide onto the mat, fingers spread really big here. Bring your knees up close to your armpits, and then maybe come forward, maybe lift one toes off the floor, and then maybe try the others. Getting a nice little gentle feeling for what's our balance in our hands. Maybe try both for just a second and then come back. Let's do one more time. And then lower down. Sit all the way forward onto your knees. Bring your big toes to touch and then gently lower back, sitting down onto your heels. Hands can rest on your lap. Oh my gosh, I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely breathing faster than I was at the beginning of our practice. Let's do some breathing practices. So bring our hands back to our bellies. Getting connected again to that balloon breathing. Inhale, belly grows. Exhale, belly shrinks. Now coming to one of my favorite types of breathing that even exists in yoga, that's called lion's breath. Feels a little bit silly, looks a little bit silly, but feels really cool. So we're gonna come forward onto your knees, bringing our hands down onto the mat, palms facing down, fingers pointing back towards our body. As you exhale, gently, very slowly sit back onto your heels, getting a big stretch on the inside of our arms here. Sitting back, getting a big stretch in our hands. Looking up at the sky, take a big inhale. And then open your mouth really wide, stick out your tongue and roar like a lion. So for each inhale, we're getting a really big breath in. And letting out our big lion roar when we breathe out. Continue with your own breathing here, guys. Really, I want to hear some really good lion roars. Don't hold on to me. Don't make me be the only silly one. One more time. Really good. Now come back onto your feet. Release your hands. Maybe give a wiggle. Stretching out your wrists, rolling around in one circle and then the other. Really good. Now we're going to cross over our feet, sit back up over our heels, bringing our our legs stretched out to the front. Arms reach up to the sky. Exhale, slowly fold over your legs. Getting a really nice stretch in our legs here. Let out a breath. Maybe your forehead comes down closer to your knees. Inhale, rising back up. Let's cross our legs, coming back to our easy pose. Let your eyes come closed. Hands can rest on your knees here. I'm going to come closer just to make sure you guys can see me. Notice how your body feels different now than when we started. Maybe you're more heated up. Maybe you have a little more energy. Maybe you feel a little bit more peaceful, a little more calm. Feeling your tailbone reaching down into the earth here, rooting down just like a tree's roots. And your spine grows tall and helps you sit up nice and tall and strong. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. And repeat these affirmations after me, either in your head silently or out loud. I am strong. I am kind. I am thoughtful. I am loving. I am confident. Blink open your eyes. Now, for those of you who have taken a yoga class with me before, will remember the phrase that we say at the end of our yoga class. But for those of you who haven't taken a yoga class with me before, I'll explain it for just a moment. So at the end of our yoga class, we always say to our fellow teachers, students, friends, anyone who's with us, the phrase, Namaste. And what that means is all of the good things that I see in myself, I also see in all of you. So I'd like to say to all of you, the awesomeness, the confidence, the love, and the joy that I see in myself, I also see and appreciate all of that in all of you. Thank you for doing yoga with me today, and I hope I'll see you all again soon. Namaste. Bye, everyone. See you next time.